doing this video again. I know it's been a while since I have made these lives, but I wanted to come on here and just touch bases with you all and again help my new followers get up to speed, because I've gotten a couple new followers. I don't know what happened in the last couple of days, but I see you. So I just wanted to just sort of help you get up to speed, especially if you're new on your fertility journey. Again, welcome. I am Natasha Winter, and I am a natural fertility coach, a holistic fertility coach, helping women over 35 to activate their fertility and equality to conceive naturally. So in this video, I wanted to talk about what the most common mistake women over 35 make when they're trying to conceive, because as someone who has been working with women for about the last 8 years, it's going on 8 years now. As someone who's been working with women for the last 8 years to conceive and to improve fertility, some of the things that I have seen are very repetitive, very consistent, and I just want to help to make sure that you are not repeating these mistakes. Because one of the best things that you can do when you're on your fertility journey is to learn from other people's mistakes. That in and of itself is a mistake that women make when they're trying to conceive, is they're not learning from other women's mistakes. But I want to just go deeper than that. What is the actual mistake that these other women are making, right? So again, if you're in the chat, just type a 1 to let me know that you can hear me. My volume is clear. There's not too much going on in the background, or that you can see and everything. So let's just get this together. So one of the most common mistakes that I see that women make, okay, is that they're operating in stress. Okay, stress is like one of the biggest fertility unalivers, we'll just call it that, right? And not too many people really pay attention to the effects of stress, what stress is doing to the body, how it's really sort of messing with your fertility and your equality, and definitely not what you can do about it. So I just want to make sure that you are fully aware of what the consequences are of operating in stress, okay? And so just to talk about like what I mean by operating in stress. Operating in stress when it comes to fertility can mean a lot of things. But again, there's just a general, being stressed out, sort of operating in stress, like still going about your daily tasks, being affected by things that are making you feel anxiety, making you feel depressed, making you feel overwhelmed, making you feel like you're not good enough. Now, just off of that alone, you can get a lot of that just from your fertility journey. You can be overwhelmed on your fertility journey. You can feel like you're not good enough on your fertility journey. You can have anxiety about the journey or just on the journey. But one of the problems with operating in stress that I've also seen is that as a result of being stressed out, going about your fertility journey in a stressed out state, what happens is like when you're stressed out, you don't just make the best decisions all the time. You don't make decisions that are always going to bring about more peace or less stress. What usually happens is if you're stressed out and you're operating in stress, you're going to make stressed decisions. You're going to make decisions that stress you out more, or that are going to stress you out later down the line. And so what happens is that when women are, again, operating in this stressful state and they're going about their fertility journey, what happens is they either choose fertility treatments that are going to cause more stress in their life. So you might choose a fertility treatment knowing that it's going to cause you pain, knowing that it's going to inconvenience you, knowing that later on down the road, you might even regret some of those decisions, okay? And one way, for example, that could happen is maybe you're trying to conceive and you go to your doctor and they put you on birth control. That's not what you went there for, right? So that can kind of confuse you. It can, again, make you feel like your body, something is wrong with you, like your body is broken and you need this birth control to fix it before you can actually conceive. But the problem there could be that, you know, you could take this birth control and obviously you're not going to be able to conceive while you're on the birth control, which is what you're trying to do. And then, you know, after you come off the birth control, the so-called the hopes and the wishes that you were hoping for, they might not manifest. Like your cycle might not just go back to normal or go to, you know, to this hormonal balance that you were hoping to achieve. On top of that, you know, again, it could take longer to conceive after you go on birth control. And then again, that can stress you out. But again, even besides that, the obvious, choosing IVF, if that was not your first, right? So often when women are trying to conceive and they go to their doctor, tell them, you know, donor eggs is your only option. Why? Is it because they've done some extensive testing on their eggs to determine that their egg quality is not good or viable? No. A lot of times it's just like a blanket diagnosis. Okay, you're over 35, you're over 40, your eggs are more than likely poor quality, you haven't been able to conceive for. All right, so hopefully we didn't cut out too much. But so what I was saying is that 6 months is not really a lot of time, in my opinion, to determine that a woman is so-called infertile, especially if you haven't really been given all of the options, right? And when you're told donor eggs is your only option, what does that do? That puts a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on you, a lot of fear and insecurities, right? So I don't like that. Like, I don't like that that is how grown women are being treated. Again, that's what's happening, right? That's what's happening. Grown women are being told that donor eggs are your only option. And then when you look at it, as Black women, we know we are not out here just donating our eggs left, right, and center. So whose eggs are we being told are the only option? That says a lot to me. But anyways, like that in of itself, that is super stressful, because now it's not just, okay, you're going to use donor eggs, but now you might be faced with, again, using eggs from foreign people who are not of your skin tone, your skin type, don't have any of your gene, you know, your features, you know, and I would think that would just probably, but so you're faced with that, and again, this reinforces inferiority complexes. It could reinforce false white supremacy, superiority complexes, which is stressful in and of itself, right? And so anyway, 6 months is not enough time. You haven't been told what your options are. You've just been told that your only option is this white woman's eggs. Okay, some of you might be okay with that. You might just want a baby. You might just want a healthy baby. I think we're sort of trained to just accept that. Oh, as long as it's healthy, as long as it's my baby with my biological DNA that's going to carry on my lineage, that's going to carry my traits and characteristics, personality, habits, that we're going to share a psychic connection, we're going to share some type of relation. We are going to, again, be able to pass on, you know, eons of just inner wisdom and things like that. That's what I would want to prioritize, okay, rather than you just tell me that I have to accept somebody else's eggs. And I'm pretty sure in some cases men are being told the same thing. They gotta accept this sperm that does not belong to them. But anyways, I digress there, right? But you see, that could be very stressful. And so if you're dealing with that, I think that, and you make that decision, again, that's your decision to make. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to, again, just let you know that some of these things might be causing some stress or some, again, anxiety in your life that you didn't sign up for, that you did not anticipate, right? So anyways, 6 months is not enough time. You're told donor eggs are your only option. That's a no for me. The next thing, again, if you are already stressed out and you're on your fertility journey, you could also choose medication that can have adverse side effects, because you didn't have the time to research these medications. You're not given alternative sort of supplementations or things to activate your eggs to produce your ovaries to produce more eggs. You're not given the time to maybe even see if there's anything you can do to mitigate the adverse effects, right? And so as a result, I had one woman who I don't know, just reconnected. So the fertility medication had caused her to have I'm pretty sure there's like one word that I'm missing, where it's like it forces your ovaries to produce too much, and you can die. Unalive, you too. You can die from that. Anyway, she was rushed to the hospital for that to deal with, and like so, she finally called me to try to get some alternatives, right? And again, that's not something you're encouraged to do. You're just told take this medication, and if you're stressed out and you really want a baby, they know that most women will do just about anything. So you're really in a vulnerable state here, right? And that's not the state where you need to be making life or decisions, if you know what I'm saying. But this is what's happening. Women are in this heightened state of like emotions and anxiety and stress and being sort of corralled to make decisions and coerced that they wouldn't normally make if they had been given years of time, the time when they told us what was, that women become infertile at 40. If when they told us about our periods in school, when we were like 9 and things like that, if they told us, okay, well, here's what you can do to like make sure you can still have a career, because that's what we're going to school for, right? So we can have this career. It don't make no sense. You're going to school to have a career, to be educated, and then they're going to be like, okay, well, now you have to choose, go have a baby, raise a family, or build a career for yourself. I have a whole video on that. I have a whole video that I'm probably going to link up here when I make that video on women and like how we sort of mold into becoming infertile over 40 when we wouldn't otherwise be. Because I'll just give you a little sneak peek here. Because if I can help women who have never had a pregnancy scare for 10 years in a relationship, if I can help women who have had secondary miscarriage over 35, this is why I don't like doing it. Help these women, and not just myself, and women on their own can improve their fertility over 35 at 40, 45, all of this, right? Then somewhere, and if I can do this in 3 months, you mean to tell me that if women were doing what I'm proposing that they do, and I tell them, I encourage them to do and give them advice to do, from the time they were 20 until they were 40, what are the chances that they would be infertile at 40? I think women would be able to continue to have babies until their 40s, their 50s, 60s. When they're taking these medications that you don't want to take. Again, choosing routines that you are treating. The thing here is if you're operating, you don't just make decisions that are not aligned with this stress. You start to make more decisions that, again, build upon this stress, create more stress in your life, and it just creates a downward cycle, right? So, in stress is not like it doesn't just happen in a it creates legs and arms, it grows and develops, it goes off on tangents, and if you don't go anywhere, it's all there's going to be stress, but the more you can do to sort of create an environment or where you can again have better off your reproductive system will be. This internet, I have to get better internet in a second. I'm going to switch over, but I really would like to go into like what you can do, but again, just creating a more peaceful, harmonious environment to help to deal with stress. And this could look like anything from, again, having a bedtime routine, making sure that you are going to bed and getting deep sleep, creating a self-care routine, making sure that you are giving your body deep rest, and making sure that you are nourishing your body with warming and healing foods. So I'll leave you with that. If you want to learn more, make sure to head to my Instagram and DM the word reset, and I can help you to, again, figure out a plan that's personalized for you. If you like this video, please just leave some comments in the chat to let me know what was your main takeaway from this video, or if you were dealing with any of the stressful scenarios that I mentioned in this video, and let me know to become infertile at 40, and anything else that you want me to talk about. So again, I'm Natasha Winter, natural fertility coach. You can also find me at Natasha Winter on Instagram, and my social descriptions will be in the bio or the description below. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you learned something and that I was able to help you. All right, take care.